Dude, how are you doing today?
You know what? Doing really good. August was a really good month. Business was really great. We just we had a great month.
Yeah, we broke a bunch of records ourselves for all time this August. We've been in business now for 19 years, so
Yeah,
that's
we
pretty remarkable.
we set a record for August. Not the best month ever, but for August it was just a great month.
I didn't hear the actual end total, but we were just within a couple $100 of having our best August ever, and that would be, I think, also maybe one of our highest months ever in our existence. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. My team was happy. Everything was going really really good. And unfortunately, I hate to be a buzzkill, but today we're going to talk about toxic people.
Toxic people.
Yeah, and
Probably nobody in our audience has ever met a toxic person
well,
before.
I think pretty much. I think everybody's been around somebody that you just had to get away from pretty quickly because they have that bad, uh, you know,
That bad vibe about them.
bad vibe, bad mojo,
Mojo, there you go.
or what-
Mojo,
Yeah,
it's all,
and
all
it's
kind
like
of the same thing.
it's like, and then what they do is they kind of rub off on everybody. They go into they're like a seagull. They go there, they shit on everybody and leave.
They're like a wet blanket, you know. They walk in and just they spoil the party.
Yeah, and we've seen it with people we've hired that they brought the team down, and we had to handle that. They can be the most skilled, greatest at their job ever, but if they're toxic and they bring the team down, you'd mentioned earlier about a football team, baseball team, any team. The thing of it is that you look at even professional sports. How many times has a coach traded somebody, fired somebody off of the team that was really skilled, really good?
Amazing skill. I mean, they
Yeah.
could have been the team's best player.
Yeah.
And guess what? They sent him packing. Why do you think that happens?
Well, because they're a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah.
They destroy your locker room,
Yeah.
and we don't. We got the same thing going on in our shops. Is we are a team. We have to be a cohesive team, and we have to all work
Absolutely.
together. And we all have to respect each other, and we all have to work together to get through the day and do the best job possible that we can possibly do for our clients.
Right. In life, we look at people and we have great esteem and admiration for people who have accomplished amazing things, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to aspire to accomplish those same things or compete with them or try to be better than that person or equal them, because then we're just trying to, pull attention to ourselves. That admiration should make us want to better ourselves, at least to some degree, but not everyone is gifted, and I want to use that word very, very purposely, because everyone has different gifts in life.
Importance. Yeah.
And we
Absolutely.
need gifted people to do different things in the same business, and that's really what makes a team great.
Right. It's exactly right. You can't. It's kind of the yin and the yang. You got to have one and the other. We all need each other. We all need each other to get the job done and help each other, and we all need. And through the process, we all want respect, and we want understanding, and we want people to appreciate what we do. And sometimes what happens is you have a team member that is that toxic person that doesn't do those things, and then sometimes you have a client that does those things. And the important thing is you and I had talked before the show, and I told you a little story about a client that I had in my shop here last week, and it was she was very toxic, very very toxic, and she the first thing that happened was the tow truck driver brought the car in, and she was referred by one of my really good clients who kind of now regrets doing it. But,
She
yeah.
has since apologized.
Yeah, she totally apologized. But the tow truck driver handed my manager the keys and said, "Hey, I pray to God this woman never calls my towing service again."
Wow.
That's
That's a harsh statement.
that's a harsh statement. Yeah,
Because tow truck drivers, I mean, I'm sure they put up with a lot of crap out there.
oh yeah, people are frustrated because their car's broken down, and I get that, and we all get that. That's not toxic. That's just
I
having a
get
bad day.
frustrated when my car breaks down. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does,
It's frustrating.
It's personally embarrassing for me because
Oh,
you know,
God. I ran out. We used to own, we had a full service gas station when I was a kid, and when I was like 17 years old, I ran out of gas, and it seemed like everybody I knew had to drive by and see me. So I got more crap for that. You wouldn't believe it, but you're right. When our cars break down, it's kind of embarrassing to us. But the thing of it is, and we understand. When cars break down, it's frustrating for the clients, and those aren't toxic people. Those are people that are just having a bad day, and our job is to turn that around, get them back on the road, and make them happy.
So-
And believe me, we go out of our way to make that happen, and I know you do at your shop too. But when they just are constantly everything that you want to do to help them, they are bucking the system or just giving you a hard time.
Or they want you to do something special for them because they're that special person. It's like, no, either everyone is special or no one's special. I mean, that's kind of the way it shakes out, right?
Well, it's exactly right. You nailed it. The thing of it is every client that comes through your door is important.
Absolutely.
And we want to make sure we give them all top-notch service. And we want to take care of them. But if you have one person coming through the door that's sucking the life out of your team.
Yeah, they're like a dry sponge that walks in and they just suck the goodness out of everything,
Exactly. And that's what happens. And then the rest of the day, your team members, they're frustrated. So, and you and I've been into businesses before where you come to the door and you can see somebody's face and you can see the frustration in their face. And, and people will pick up on that too. And I don't want my clients, the good clients that are coming in there that just want us to do a good job and want us to take care of their problems and help them with their car maintenance.
Right,
car
but I
problems.
mean, the whole thing is that person may not be the toxic person. They may have been toxified by somebody else that they work with, and they hate their job because they can't be happy. They can't flourish in who they are because someone else is always one-upping them, and putting them down or telling them that they're ugly or worthless or whatever, And
Victim mentality. The
yeah.
victim mentality. See, and that's exactly, you nailed it right there. Because that's exactly what this lady had, is a victim mentality. She came in and, I mean, every word out of her mouth was all of her personal problems, her disability, this problem, that problem. And really had nothing to do with the car situation, but she wanted to be a victim. And she was using that to try to get special attention, special pricing, special, she just wanted and more time to suck out of you, and I felt like, it irritates me when people use a disability or something like that to basically suck the life out of somebody else.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
you of
victim
all
mentality.
people, Dave, because I don't know if our audience knows, but Dave was born with spina bifida. He's been in a wheelchair his entire life since he was born. And so, if anyone could say, well, I'm a victim and I'm just going to suck it, I'm just going to suck up the world into myself and I'm going to, make everyone else's life miserable because mine is miserable. Dave is the most amazing guy who never lets anything get in his way from accomplishing it. And that's why he's a successful businessman. He is known as a friend to everybody he ever meets. And, that's what you do with the disability. You say, okay, this is what I've got. This is the hand I've been dealt. I'm going to play it out, and I'm going to win.
Well, and I thank you for saying that, Glenn. I appreciate that. And, I've always looked at myself, and what I see is just a man who happens to get around in a chair. That's it. I'm no more of a man or less of a man than anybody else.
And that's an awesome.
But I feel
point of
like
view.
what I'm going through, I don't need to go around and be toxic and go around and torture everybody else because of my situation. It's not their fault and it's not their problem.
Right.
It's and I don't even look at my situation as a problem. I just look at it like, hey, it's just, I always tell everybody that, hey, look, being in a chair is just giving me more opportunities to overcome things. And so I take everything as an opportunity to try to figure out a way to do it, how I can do it differently than way other people can do it. But I want to get the job done, and however I get the job done, I get the job done.
So you were talking about this lady that had come in and just basically toxified the whole day. Or the whole whatever amount of days that you had her car there for.
Oh, yeah, and you could see it in my team's face. I mean, literally, you could see it when she left. I mean, when she first came in, and then till the time she left, it was like, oh, my God, my guys they were just
They were loading their guns.
Yeah, they were frustrated as hell. They were just frustrated as hell. They were frustrated, and I could see it. And you know, that's the thing you don't want, because you know that stuff just bleeds over, and you know, and it just makes everybody have a bad day.
Right, and it happens so infrequently, but when it does, and it seems like when it rains, it pours, right? I mean, it doesn't happen every day. We don't have toxic customers come in every day. But, you know, it only takes one or two a week, you know, out of the 100 customers that you service, you know, to just...
You said it, Glenn. Though you're right. The majority of our clients are amazing people, and we love them. And trust me, we go in there and we'll go to the end of the earth to help them with any of the issues that they got with their cars. And so we go out of our way to do that anyway. But you know, you can't let that one person go in and really basically ruin everybody's day, and then also your other clients don't get the
attention that they need.
Right.
Absolutely.
They deserve.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had to tell the lady that at the end that we just had to go ahead and cut ties with her, and we asked her not to come back. I haven't done that in years. I haven't done.
Yeah, we call it firing customers. And again, it doesn't happen very frequently, but yeah, we have that conversation probably once or twice a year where we just say, you know what, you're really not my customer. I can't service you to the degree that you're demanding. And I've got thousands of customers who love me and think that I'm doing an awesome job. That's why my Google rating and Yelp rating are as high as they are, because we do an amazing job at taking care of people, servicing their needs, servicing their vehicle, and getting everything, you know, to their satisfaction.
Well, yeah, and that's what we love doing. That we love just helping people and keeping them on the road, you know. And if they got some issues that we need to work on, we work on them. And you know, we're not perfect. We make mistakes once in a while, but we own up to them. We fix it and move on. And
Exactly.
You know, people give us. There's a lot of our clients that give us some grace when we do. But there's a difference between that and a difference between somebody that just is a narcissist.
Yeah.
That all they think about is themselves. They don't even look around to see what other people are going through. It's all internal in them. And they could look at somebody else and they could be way worse than they are, and they will still sit there and they will complain to them about how bad their life is.
Exactly.
And it's just sad. I mean, I actually feel sorry for people like that. I do. I feel sorry for them, because I know that I don't know how they could have any kind of a happy life just way they think.
Yeah, and you said internally we can have toxicity too. We hire the wrong person. They may be the most skilled person that you've ever had work in your shop, and I'm sure other businesses have experienced this too, and other employees of businesses have seen it happen to them or around them, where the toxic person comes in. And you know, I had one tech that I hired, and incredibly skilled, super A tech, could do anything, fix anything, do it faster and better than anybody else without getting any comebacks. And you know, he really looked down on the other employees who weren't at his skill level and probably never would be, you know. And he was literally mooing at them like a cow, like mooing. They'd walk by his bay and he'd go, you know. And it's like, so I pulled him aside and I says, look, dude, I said, you are really bringing down the morale of everybody else in this business. We appreciate the fact that you have incredible skills and that you're able to do what you do. But if you don't knock this off, your toolbox has wheels for a reason, and you're not going to work here anymore, because I won't tolerate you putting down the rest of my employees. They do a great job at what they do. And just because you're doing the harder stuff and you can do it very quickly and efficiently doesn't mean that, you know, they're any less an employee and any less valuable to my business. So he started doing it again, and that was it. I showed him the door.
Arrogance, you can't put up with the arrogance. The arrogance is so...
That's a good word too.
It's toxic, and it's just, you don't want everybody, man. Leave your egos at the door. You know, let's come in and do the best job ever. And you know, Glenn, you have great people working for you, and I have great people working for me. Thank God. You know, we've been really blessed to have amazing people working for us, and we want to keep that culture, and we want to keep our team basically motivated, ready to go, you know, want to do the best job possible, and want to take care of our clients.
Yeah, interestingly, someone brought it to my attention once that there's a Bible verse that says that God hates arrogance, but he gives grace to the humble. And you know, arrogance it's beyond pride. It's where you think that the whole universe revolves around you.
Yeah. And
that's a big deception that many people carry throughout their life. And not only does God resist them, but so does everybody else in their path, because you pick up on that arrogance and you just don't want to be around those people. And definitely don't want to have them as customers. So
Well-
for the audience out there, be humble, no matter how good you are, no matter what you've accomplished in your life. When you come into someone's business, and even if they've made a mistake or whatever, understand that everybody's human. Everyone has, things that are going on that could cause them to overlook something or make a mistake of some sort. And it didn't kill you. And that's an important part of the equation. So, for you who are, people who come in as a client to someone's business, whether it's auto repair or anything else like that, keep in mind that these people are doing the very best they can with the people that they have. And the honest truth is there's less and less people in many industries that
Right.
have the kind of skills to do.
Yeah,
Many of them
absolutely.
are aging and they're retiring, and many aging businesses are going out of business because they simply can't find people to replace them and continue the momentum of excellence that they've had in the past.
Right, and the shortage of people is a huge problem that we're having. And it doesn't matter what any hospitality business that you're in that has to deal with clients, or any kind of a skilled position. Even it doesn't really matter. We're all hurting for those people. But one of the other things I was going to tell you, Glenn, is that one of my clients, this was years ago. This is probably 30 years ago. One of my clients came in there, and he's a businessman. He's been around for a long time and ran a bunch of businesses and very successful. And he was telling me about toxic people that he's dealt with. And he said, when I get those people in, I just take them out in the parking lot. And he says, it's 110 out there. We stand out there, and I ask them, what's their complaints? What's the, what are their issues or whatever? And he says, the conversation doesn't last very long.
That's maybe a good tactic to use when you got those kind
So
of
that's a
people.
tip, Glenn.
Or if it's raining hard or something, let's step outside and talk about this because I really don't want to talk in front of the other people.
Yeah.
You know what? I really appreciate our audience out there, and I hope that everyone has taken a lesson out of this in dealing with toxic people. Or if you have a tendency to be one, just realize the impact that it has on others, and be kind, be gracious, be patient, be humble, and you're going to go a lot further in this life with a smile on your face.
Right, and you said it best, Glenn. Is they don't realize what they're doing to other people, and that's the part that is just so frustrating. And we all got to look in the mirror once in a while, and we all have bad days. And don't get me wrong, I've had my bad days, but you know what? I try not to. I try to always look in the mirror and go, wait a minute, where did the problem start and who started it? And usually it's me. So I've got to fix me before I can fix anybody else or anything else.
Right. So we thank you all for your time today, and we're going to wrap this thing up for today. But if you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to recommend this podcast to someone else, get on podcastunderthehood.com, and we're in several different venues, and we'd be delighted to have you as one of our listeners.